have been dealing with crazy digestive concerns for like years, but in the last few months it's gotten terrible. So like since last June, I am currently being treated for EMO, which is an overgrowth of bacteria and basically having too much methane, so intestinal methane overgrowth. So when you have too much methane or hydrogen in your gut, it creates too much bad bacteria. So there's always good bacteria in your gut, but there's also bad bacteria. So I started treatment with Xifaxan, which is like the only treatment for SIBO. If you have EMO, which is what I have, IMO, then you're supposed to take Xifaxan and neomycin, but neomycin literally causes people to lose their hearing. So obviously we're not doing that. I'm getting my PhD and I read studies that if you take Xifaxan and an NAD supplement, then the success rate of actually getting rid of all the bad bacteria is higher. So just with Xifaxan, it's 56% for EMO. With the one that causes hearing loss, so Xifaxan plus neomycin, it's like 95 something. My dog wants to talk. But obviously, since I'm not going to lose my hearing over this, I'm taking the NAD supplement, which should help take my success rate from like 56 to like 72. So, we'll see. I've been taking the Xifaxan and it was helping for like 2 weeks. My diet is super limited right now, like eggs, turkey, egg whites, white potatoes only, steak, chicken, avocado oil, some avocado, some peanut butter when like I feel like I'm just so hungry I can't take it. So that was helping, and now honestly I feel worse. I'm so bloated. I feel like my stomach is just like, it never goes, it's starting to not go away now, which every morning I at least had my mornings, and I'm like feeling a little desperate here. So the other thing that they recommend in Britain is an elemental diet, and my husband's British, so we were in Britain for the last 2 months. This is basically pre-digested food powder. So like if I was in the hospital on like a breathing tube, this is what I would be having. So I just opened it. Basically the idea is forever how much calories you're consuming, that's how many servings you need. So if you're consuming 2,000 calories, you would have the equivalent of 2,000 calories in this. So this is 100% not a weight loss thing. This is literally, the idea is you consume only this, so the bad bacteria in your gut has nothing to grow off of, because we know that they grow from sugars of any kind, glucose, sucrose, fructose, lactose, etc. But also if you have parasites, the parasites have nothing to eat either. And since I was feeling better after a round of Ovax, which treats parasites, but I have a sneaking suspicion I have another kind of parasite as well. So basically, I have been operating under the assumption that this would be only desperate measures, and now we're at those desperate measures. Some doctors will say do it for 2 weeks straight. That seems crazy to only have powder for 2 weeks. Also, I train fairly hard. Some other people say do it for 2 days at a time, take a break, eat real food, come back to it. The whole idea is that you're letting the things that are in you die. So how long does that take? Unclear. But for me, I'm just going to take this like one meal at a time. I'm not going to try to do it for 2 weeks. I'm just going to see if I can do it for a few meals. I'm hoping with the medication and with this, it might help. Once again, a medical doctor has advised me to do this. There are varying ways to treat SIBO, EMO, parasites, etc. I also want to be clear that I've had crazy amounts of blood work done. I've had endoscopies. I've had ultrasounds. Please don't tell me to like eat low FODMAP or to use castor oil or to do whatever. I've done so much research. I've spent so much time, and honestly now at this point so much money on fixes. Like I'm dialed in. The usual tricks aren't working anymore, which is why I'm going to try this. Now, I'm not at all affiliated with this company, but the elemental diets out there are obscenely expensive, and this was the only somewhat affordable one. Obviously, this isn't 2 weeks worth of food, so I'm just going to give it a go. Let's try it together, I guess. It comes with a little scooper, and the instructions are that you do 1 heaping scoop in 4 to 8 ounces of water. So I have my little Chobani here, so this is 3.5, that's 7, so I'll do some more. I don't want too much liquid. It's not right before bed, but I'm always cognizant of that. Not gonna lie, I was told that these would taste and smell like terrible, and this one isn't filled with natural flavors and all this other stuff like a bunch of the other really expensive ones are, but there is still some flavor of some kind in here. I spilled a little, so I'm just gonna push it in. Sometimes these supplements, you can tell that they smell. Like my leucine supplement just stinks. Oh, and that's the other thing that I want to mention. That's not a heaping scoop. I consume crazy amounts of protein, which honestly, I'm wondering if that's starting to be the problem, but like carbs make it worse and fats make my stomach kill with pain. So like, you know, this obviously is not as much protein as I would usually eat. So I was thinking about adding some leucine, even though it tastes disgusting, into this, because this is only going to be like the equivalent of 10 grams of protein, which is nothing burger. But I think for the first sip, I will just have it be all natural, if you will, and then I might add some leucine after. So, oh shit, that smells really bad. Okay, well, the other instruction is to drink this over the course of an hour, so it might be really important that I don't drink this crazy fast. Oh my god, it smells so bad. Before, when it wasn't in water, it didn't smell as bad as it does now. Oh, it's fine. I mean, it wouldn't be your chosen flavor, but it kind of tastes like it wants to be like a cream soda or something. And I don't consume dairy, so the fact that it's white isn't really that appealing to me, but at least it's hidden in my cute Chobani cup. When you get desperate, it's really important to speak with your doctors, and honestly, I met with a lot of different doctors because GI issues can be treated in so many different ways. So I want to be super clear that when you do an elemental diet, you need to be under the care of a doctor, because obviously, you know, we don't want adverse health outcomes. And if you guys know me, you know that I work too hard for my muscle mass to go ahead and lose it all. So I'm not going to add leucine to this one because it's my first go, but I probably, if I'm going to stick with this for like a few days at a time, I definitely will be adding more leucine to it. Leucine is the primary activator of mTOR, so if we want as much muscle protein synthesis and as much myofibrillar protein enrichment as possible after our workouts, we need enough leucine to do that. So, you know, the leucine in this is just probably not going to cut it, but also because there's so many other things in here, I don't want to be taking so much extra of this. I need to be smart. So that's where we're at, friends. I appreciate you being along for the journey. I will continue to keep you informed.